There is an argument, and I think it's a pretty good one, that the English language is the most complex language that humans have ever used to communicate. After all, this is the language that produced such novels as The Catcher in the Rye, The Color Purple, The Great Gatsby, Old Sport, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And one of the things that gives these novels such power is their authors' use of figurative language. There are times in English where what the writer explicitly says is not what they meant, and that is called figurative language. See that guy? That's Aristotle. He's a pretty smart cookie. And Aristotle was the first person to ever think and write about the difference between literal language and figurative language. Now, all words, phrases, paragraphs, sentences, even entire books and poems can be divided into either literal or figurative. Let's do literal first. Literal is easy. Literal is when the language means explicitly what it says. There's no need to consider or interpret. We just take the words at face value. That's called literal. Figurative language is when a writer says something that he or she doesn't really mean. Now, it doesn't have to be sarcasm. With figurative language, there can be hidden meanings. Now, figurative language has two purposes. The first purpose, and probably the more important one, is that figurative language engages the reader by creating a relationship between the reader and the writer. Because the reader has to use their own imagination to make connections and try and understand what it is exactly that the writer means. The second purpose of figurative language is that it gives our language depth, beauty, and diversity. Working together, literal and figurative language are what we call English. And it is absolutely essential as you move through your education that students be able to decipher figurative language, to figure out and identify when the writer means something different than they explicitly stated, and then discover the meaning of those figurative language phrases. Good luck.